The house on your left hand side with the water barrel on it. That is the smallest prison that we have here in Robben Island. That prison was meant for Robert Mangaliso Sobukwe, one of the influential political leaders that we were having in South Africa. Let me give you a history of Sobukwe and also how Sobukwe was in prison here in the island. Robert Mangaliso Sobukwe was born in the small town of Rafreinet, 5 December 1924. He began his studies at the University of Fort Hare, whereby Dr. Nelson Mandela was studying, and the likes of Robert Mugabe of Zimbabwe. In 1954, he became a lecturer at the University of Witwatersrand, which is now known as Wits University. He was teaching linguistics, course of language. In 1959, organization that was known as PAC, which stand for Pan-African Congress. PAC was the organization that was formed in order to fight against apartheid laws in South Africa. Laws such as Group Areas Act, whereby blacks were being grouped according to races in 1950. Laws such as separate amenities, whereby blacks were being separated on the public facilities in 1952. The well-known law was the law that was known as a pass law system. A pass law system was the law that was introduced in order to control the movement of black people. In the pass law system, blacks were forced to carry the pass. That pass was known as a dom pass in Afrikaans. In English means stupid pass. That pass indicates the name of a person. It has the picture of you. It also has the physical address of where you're staying. What will happen is, if you are then found by police, maybe at night or morning patrolling, not having your pass on you, you will then be beaten up by police and arrested for 3 months in jail, and your bail will be 60 rand. During the time of apartheid, 60 rand was a huge amount of money. You have to work for 6 months in order for you to get 60 rand, in order for you to have bail. On the 21st of March 1960, Robert Mangaliso Sobukwe and other members of PAC gathered together and organized marches around South Africa. They organized marches in a township called Langa and Kukuletu here in Cape Town. But the biggest march that they were having, it was on Sharpeville, whereby they were having 5,000 protesters there. Sobukwe demanded all of the black protesters, they must go to their nearest police stations and demanded to be arrested in order to fight against this pass law system. But there was a sad incident that happened in Sharpeville. The police started to panic due to their seeing large numbers of people coming close to their prison. Is where they started to panic and they started to shoot. By shooting, they shoot and they killed 69 people, and 180 were injured and thousands were arrested. That day was known as Sharpeville Massacre. It is now known as a Human Rights Day in order to commemorate those who died fighting against apartheid in South Africa. After the incident of Sharpeville, Sobukwe was arrested in Orlando with other 22 members of PAC. He was then charged with incitement. He was then taken to Pretoria Central, whereby he served 3 years there. After serving his 3 years in Pretoria Central, the government then sit at the parliament and decide about the future of Sobukwe, whether they must release him or they must take him back in Pretoria Central. But they ended up coming up with a clause that was known as Sobukwe Clause, which was only meant for him. That's when they decided to take him here on the island in 1963. The house on your left hand side with the water barrel on it, this is where he was staying. He was staying alone here in the island. He was separated from the ex-political prisoners in the maximum security prison, whereby your first tour was. He was looked after by 6 warders here, and the warders were given access to shoot to kill if he was running away. I won't say Sobukwe was kept as a prisoner here due to he was having a radio in the house. He was eating whenever he wanna eat. He was having access to newspaper and radio, and also visitation of her wife and mother during the year. But the only thing that was being painful, that was denied for him, is that Sobukwe was not allowed to talk with anyone. Even the warders that look after him, they were not allowed to talk with him. Those that were coming in the maximum security prison, walking to the limestone quarry on top during the hard labor, they will see Mangaliso Sobukwe here, and they will treat him. Sobukwe won't rebel due to he was not allowed to talk with them. The only thing he will do is he will just scoop a sand with his hand, and he will let it filter. And that was the message to them, that you are the son of the soil. You must fight until the end in order for you to get your freedom. But during his serving in the island, he then developed a vocal cords. His vocal cords stopped working due to he was not talking to anyone. That's when the government decided to take him in the house arrest in the place called Kimberley, Kharishiwe, in 1969. That's where he died, in Kimberley house arrest in 1978. Others say he was being poisoned in the island. Others say it's a lung cancer. As a Robben Island Museum, we are providing information of that. There are many ex-political prisoners that fight against apartheid in South Africa. Why not everyone is being recognized as the same level as Dr. Nelson Mandela, Govan Mbeki, Walter Sisulu, Desmond Tutu, Rizani, and many more? The likes of Robert Mangaliso Sobukwe must be at least be recognized in South African history too, due to they play huge part on our freedom as a nation. 2 years after Sobukwe was released in the island, there were dog kennels that were built here. These 2 that are facing Sobukwe's house were dog kennels for dogs. The dogs that were kept here were the dogs that were patrolling in the maximum security prison, whereby your first tour was. Thank you. Okay, we are now in the area that is called the limestone quarry. This is the area whereby Utatu Nelson Mandela was working with B-section prisoners doing the hard labor. They were promised to work in the limestone quarry for 8 months, but their 8 months ended up to be 13.5 years. What they were doing here is they were digging the limestone quarry with picks and shovels from point A to point B, that side. The limestone quarry that they were digging in the island, it was then used to build roads in the mainland, also in the island. Most of the individuals that work in the limestone quarry during the time of apartheid, today they are suffering from eye problem due to the glare of the sun and the sand that is coming in the limestone quarry. The reason why they suffered from the eye problem a lot is that they were not given any sunglasses to protect themselves from the sun and the sand. They were told that is not part of their uniform. Utatu Nelson Mandela as well, after he was released, he had to undergo the eye surgery because his eyes were also damaged in the limestone quarry. You were not allowed to take pictures of him with the flesh because his eyes were damaged. In this same limestone quarry that I'm talking about, we have an area that we referred as the University of Robben Island. On your left-hand side, inside the limestone quarry, we have a cave that is 7 meters. That cave we referred as the University of Robben Island. The main reason for that is that during the arrestments of the ex-political prisoners, there were those that were privileged, educated when they came in the island. The teachers, the lawyers, the doctors. Those that were privileged, educated, they managed to educate those prisoners who didn't know how to read, who didn't know how to write during their lunchtime inside that cave. Since they had no books, no pens, they were writing with fingers on the sand while they educate each other. They managed to come up with the slogan, each one, teach one. Each one, teach one, in order to motivate each other. Also, the same cave that they were using as a classroom, it was the same cave that they needed to share as their restroom too. 2 buckets that you saw on the B section prison, 2 of them were put inside them. The warders won't go nearby that cave due to it was smelling for them. But they managed into turning those situations and educate each other. On the 11th of February 1995, it was the day of reunion. The day of reunion was the day to demonstrate for the media how they were digging the limestone quarry during the time of apartheid. During the demonstration, all of those that were in prison in the island were here, including Utatu Nelson Mandela as well. While they were demonstrating, Utatu Nelson Mandela just moved away from the rest of them without saying anything, without planning anything to anyone. He moved a distance from them. What he did is he picked the stone down and moved away from them and put that stone down. And the rest of the individuals that were here during that day witnessed what Utatu Nelson Mandela was doing. What they did is they picked their own different stones and followed Utatu Nelson Mandela with them and put the stones in the same area whereby Utatu Nelson Mandela put his. If you see it on your left-hand side, you'll see there is a piles of stones over there. As you see those stones are different in color, they are different in sizes, they are different in shape. Those stones symbolize that you can be different in your color of your skin. You can be different on your tradition and races and other things. But what's important is we are all South Africans. Let's unite as one in building this strong South Africa as one and stop fighting against each other. That was the wishes of Dr. Nelson Mandela in the piles of stones that you see over there. The piles of stones that you see now with this moment with your eyes are the piles of stones that we are having in the new note money of South Africa. The new 100 rand of South Africa at the back is having these piles of stones that you see now. It is the right-hand Robben Island. If there's anyone in the bus with those note money, what you can do is to give me those note money. Old one, new ones, all of them. What I will do with the note money is I will circulate the money inside the bus so that everyone can see what we are talking about, not the other way around. Okay, since we no longer allowed to go inside the limestone quarry because tourists before used to write their names in the limestone quarry and damage the limestone quarry, so now everyone is suffering from that. But the least that I can do for you in this bus is I can just take just 2 pieces of limestone quarry and give away just 2 of them so that everyone can feel how is the limestone quarry that they are taking during the apartheid era. We don't have one in the bus. Nothing.
Huh? Go self. Okay.